Church of God and Saints of Christ, to the ministerial hierarchy in accordance to national, provincial, and local positions. Special recognition to the singers as it is their weekend. I say, oh, hey. Am I audible enough? Can I get a thumbs up if I am audible enough? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I testify in the spirit of prophecy, not in the spirit of an elder. I testify thanking God for sending the prophet, who is Willem Sanders Crowdy, who brought the 7 keys and 10 commandments. Firstly, I'd like to thank God from all blessings flow. You know, one of the writers once said, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Now, sitting down, you might not understand what the writer says, but in the current situation we are in, you tend to refer back to what the writer said. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. I won't be long, Church of God, as it's just a warm-up. Like the MC said, it's a service to usher the Sabbath day. I won't be long, I won't be long. I like saying this, I'll be short as a miniskirt, but long enough to cover essential parts. So bear with me, Church of God, as we read, or before we read, I'd like to go through this. I apologize, or please bear with me as I'll be using both Vernac and the Queen's language, as I am not strong in preaching in the Queen's language. So where I fall short, please bear with me. Now, as we go into what I was tasked to do, please travel with me through the haze of many centuries and let us understand or try to figure out what went wrong. Let us take our Bibles and open up in the book of Genesis, chapter 6. We'll read from verse 5 and 6. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5 and 6. A thumbs up will give me the go-ahead. We'll begin reading. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he made man on earth, and grieved him at his heart. The focus point is verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he made men on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. The book of Jeremiah 17, verse 7 says, blessed is the man that trusts in the Lord, and whose hope is in him. Now, if I would use a subject or isihloko sizokhulumela kuso, sithi umuntu, plain name, plain word, man. Now I need you to bear with me as I try in this 5 minutes to try and break what I mean when I say man. Umuntu. Let us go back these past years or these past months and try and understand that ever since the lockdown, no dog, no elephant, no snake, no horse has caused harm to a person. But now the question is, who caused the harm? Yeah, now, the answer we're looking for is man. Sorry, Church of God, can I go back to my mother language, which is Zulu, because I'm trying to accommodate everyone, but I see that I'm not connecting. Lithi iBhayibheli uNkulunkulu wayisola ngokudala abantu. Lithi masibheka phezulu kuGenesis chapter 6, ithi incwadi kaGenesis chapter 6 verse 3, umoya wami awuyohlala phezu kwabantu ngoba bayinyama nje. Nayo isihloko sethu sithi umuntu. Please note ukuthi umuntu usizo aphinda abe usizi empilweni yomuntu. Umuntu usizo, angeke kuye ndawo ongalitholanga usizo lomuntu. Angeke kuye ndawo ongalitholanga usizo lomuntu. Ithi incwadi kaDavide nokuthi ngwele esandleni sakho noma ukuthi ngwele esandleni somuntu, ngcono ngwele esandleni sakho Jehova. Lithi iBhayibheli encwadini kaJobe yokukhulula enhluphekweni ezisithupha, yebo yokukhulula nasenhluphekweni ezisikhombisa. Now I need you to understand ukuthi umuntu usizo, angeke kuye ndawo ungalitholanga usizo lomuntu. Umuntu uphinda abe usizi empilweni zethu. And lowo muntu loyo angeke ulibone izulu ngenxa yakhe. Now we need to understand, we need to question what was happening during the process. uNkulunkulu azathi umoya wami ayohlala phezu kwabantu ngoba bayinyama nje. You know, you tend to look and understand there are things that a human can do that even the devil cannot do. We tend to say it's demons, but we forget the person who's next to you. Lithi incwadi kaGenesis, uNkulunkulu wadala izulu nomhlaba, and he saw it good. Wadala ilwane, he saw it good. Wadala ilwane, he saw it good. Mara mase kafika emntwini, uNkulunkulu khipha lamagama ukuthi umoya wami awuyohlala phezu kwabantu ngoba bayinyama nje. Waguquka ebuNkulunkulwini bakhe. You need to understand ukuthi lo uNkulunkulu esikhuluma ngayo lo wathi asenze umuntu ngomfanekiso wethu ukuthi asikhonze. But at the same time, he's the same God who says umoya wami awusayi kuyohlala phezu kwabantu ngoba bayinyama nje. You need to question yourself or do a self-introspection. What kind of a person are you? Are you the kind of a person who brings usizi empilweni yomuntu? Or are you the kind of a person who brings usizo empilweni yomuntu? Are you the person or the kind of a person who's gonna be umuntu ukutolahla ngomthi wokuphela? Or are you the person who's gonna benefit the next person? You know, we tend to understand, our problem is we tend to try and understand or study a being that is beyond the scope of time, which is God. And we forget to study the person next to us. The only person who can cause us harm is the person next to us. And we tend to forget that, but we focus on studying the person who's beyond the scope of time. You know, let me just make it easy for you and try and make you understand a person who's usizo emntwini aphinde abe usizi ebantwini. You know, let's look at the book of Esther and let's look at the period that happened, everything that happened during the book of Esther. There's this guy uHamani, uMhagagi, uyisitha sama Jews. We also have uMordecai, who's the hero of the Jews. Now we look at it in a picture of uHamani, uyinqeko umsizi, usizi, usizo enkosini, but usizi kumaJuda. Umuntu othi babulawe amaJuda ngosizi, but usizo enkosini. Nkosi iziyampromota imbeke esihlalweni esikhulu. Ngidlule zonke izihlalo ezikhona ezweni. Now I need us to go back and do an introspection as saints. Sibuze ukuthi, are we the type of saints abazoba usizi ebantwini or bazoba usizo ebantwini. You know abantu bayakhala la ngaphandle. Abasakhaliswa yilwane njoba ngishilo in the beginning. Abasakhaliswa ilwane zivalelwe na ezulu. I-lockdown isivalele, but the person osikhalisa is the person next to us. Uthi Davide, Nkosi, nokuthi ngwele esandleni sakho, nokuthi ngwele esandleni somuntu, ngcono ngwele esandleni sakho. You are aware ukuthi isandla somuntu singakufakela uchefu. The same person ohleka naye next door, it can be the person who is your downfall. I need you to understand or question yourself, what kind of a person are you? And what kind of a person are you trying to bring to the next year of 21? You know, we look at Ujobe, for instance. We look at Ujobe. Ujobe had umfazi owusizi empilweni yakhe. But in order, please do remember, ngithe umuntu owusizo empilweni yakho ngeke uye ndawo ngaphandle kwakhe. Umuntu owusizi angeke ulibone izulu ngenxa yakhe. But at the same time, I need you to understand ukuthi umuntu owusizi can be a person ogcina abe usizo empilweni yakho. For umuntu ukuthi abe usizo empilweni yakho, miyeka agibele ikhanda. Because it's incwadi kaDeuteronomy mangaphazami, ozehlisayo ngizomphakamiso, oziphakamisayo ngizomehlisa. Now for you ukuthi ube no sizo empilweni yakho, let umuntu owusizi empilweni yakho agibele ikhanda, so uzehlisa ukuthi uNkulunkulu akuphakamise yena. Uthi uNkulunkulu indlela zami nendlela zenu azifani. Your thoughts and my thinking are not the same. So Church of God and Saints of Christ, let us not try to study a person who's beyond scope of time, but let us study the person who's next to us. It's umunye umfundisi msabe umuntu ophambi kwakho, ungasabi isitha sakho. Because the fact is isitha sakho siyakutshengisa ukuthi angikufuni. But the next person or the person oqala ukuhlekisa is the person you should question ukuthi uyakuthanda noma. With that being said, Church of God and Saints of Christ, I won't be long, like I said, which I'll be short as a miniskirt, but long enough to cover essential parts. It's incwadi kaJohane, uma nizazi lezi zinto nakubusiswa manizenza.